So right now I'm at I see the universe, and there's like levels, like layers of it. Each layer has a dimension, like a density to it. And I'm at a certain density level. And it's kind of like somebody made a map out of it. And on the map, you see certain squares. They're of different sizes. And these squares are dark, like black. And then they flip up. And I'm just talking about the space. And the space looks like that, like a density level to me, like a layer. And it flips up, and I see the mirrors. And the mirrors reflect whatever it is in that density, like the information, like database. It gets reflected over there. And over there, there's a layer above of similar, like mirrors. And they absorb, they're like the screens of the computers, absorb information and replicate, like DNA replicates itself. And so I see it's like flashlight. You're flashing the light with information with different codes up, and it's being copied on top. And then I see like the 8, like that, like the one universe is being copied, and there's 2 copies of it. This copy is what it is right now, and I see like gray dust all around flying, and I see the lots of, like right now, round ships with, I want to say, Dracos from that copied universe going into our universe, and they have some big containers filled with the dust particles, and these dust particles are like nanotechnology, like chemtrails, and they're spraying all over our universe, and it gets penetrated through all the layers,
To all
like
the.
layers of the pie type thing, and they're all different density, and it penetrates. Like if I zoom in into the dust particles, like nanotechnology, like little bugs. And this is like experiment, like they created this universe to experiment on our universe. And then I see like a big like a big capsule, but there's like people in 2 rows sitting. Looks like airplane without the wings. And the people are transported, and they're for experiments. It's like a barter exchange for, like, it's not technology, it's people versus exchange for some lab experiments. And I see a lot of those, like at the lab, like test tubes in containers they give for exchange. And then I'm involved in all of this.
Can I first ask you a question before we go on?
Yeah, sure.
Which one of those, the reflection, like you say, the 2 same universes, which one of them was the original one that
Uh,
receives or transmits?
Ours is original one. So they basically replicated this new one from the original one by taking the DNA of the database of our universe, of all these little parts, like from the map, from our universe, pockets of database. I want to say pocket. And then when you put all the pockets together, you can create the same replica of the same thing. But this one is not filled. It's like I see 2 glasses. One is filled with water, it's already full. And this one, you can fill up with whatever you want. to compare. And then I see the scale. They want to do something different with this one, manipulate the timelines differently so they can compare. And they think, because when they manipulate the timelines, they go like this, like the DNA strands, and they go zzzz, and they never know what the end result is gonna be. In this one, they're thinking maybe that's a better way to manipulate the end result and to be more sure of it, because they want it the way they want it, but the consciousness level is raising like 0.3%, I see, over periods of time. I mean, I don't really see what periods of time, but I see like sections.
Mm-hmm.
And they cannot control, they don't know. It's like a butterfly effect. It can go that way or this way, but they want it certain way. And all the people or souls, essences, who's like me, who have different parallel lives on different planets, and mostly like I'm 73% masculine energy, and I'm used. They take my consciousness out and project it into different bodies of some warrior type. Like I
That's why you
literally
see those
see,
lives?
right? I literally see like I'm opening a closet, and I see different bodies like avatars, and these are all, they look familiar to me right now. I can describe each of one. I see 7, and they kind of suck my essence out of me, of my body here, and they create a time loop, and they put me in each body. But right now I reverse the process that used to be. Now I reversed it. I control the process because I woke up since that time. But now I'm kind of, I mean, there's no really, we're all part of the game. There's no bad or good. But when I reversed it, it's like I'm more in control, that I can kind of fight with the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
But, but we agreed to this on a higher level. But it's like a game.
Okay.
I'm taking another role. And that's why I see myself walking different planets. Like right now, there's like a dusted planet, blue with gray dust. And I see the huge blue sun right like in front of me. It's almost taking up the whole sky. I'm walking, I'm like a soldier, but I'm on this suit with a zipper. It's white, and it goes over the hood. And on here, I have like a sign, like a round sign. And you know how it goes? It goes like line, 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 and a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
But the lines are kind of funny like this. But this one's straight, but this one's not. I don't know what it means. Like a space warrior. Space warrior. White suit. Huh.
Is it a different universe or different galaxy?
It's a different galaxy. It's this universe. But I can see through. It's like I see bubbles. And I can see through the bubbles. And then I can see through my lives now, because I shifted some layer inside of my reality and inside of the density of my body type thing, because I see my body now physical. It's like thinner. Like you take something like a slime that kids play with and you stretch it
Mm-hmm.
out. Like I keep stretching it out, and I can see through better.
So, what is the purpose of you now seeing all of your lives?
See better. develop a better skill for myself now, not to be used by others. It's for myself because I can uh, return back, return back to my original self. It says. I mean, it's in me. It's like my essence saying to me
Mm-hmm.
because I got polluted here. Everybody's polluted at a certain level, like contaminated in a way, and then you decontaminate yourself by taking layers off, cleansing yourself that way.
So, did the soldier lives contaminated you the most? If you see them right now, they're revealing to you soldier being who else like a scientist, but mostly soldier. Is it because it
Mm,
affects you a lot?
different lives. When I'm a scientist, I regret some experiments. I see my emotional body being getting gray because it gets, it gets kind of like contaminated with my sadness, with my negative low vibrational feelings from those lives. From the soldier, it's more, I feel like that somebody's suppressing my character here on Earth. I'm more like um, ready to act rather than to think first before acting. And that affects me that way, the soldier. But then this is my number one life. I mean, it always stands one here. And I feel like I see like a desert and everything's dead. And I'm like a little flower trying to sprout, but I cannot open up because I feel nobody understands me. I'm trying to like turn and see, try to find the light type thing of the whole situation. It's like metaphorical.
Mm-hmm. Metaphorically, did you try to look inside instead of looking around? If you're just only one
Uh,
flower in the desert, you can look
um,
inside.
yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to, like, I see the roots growing underneath. I'm trying the opposite way. There was like plan A type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Plan B is growing the roots from inside of my essence and reaching people in life that way to connect us in a network type thing or to, but it's all related to me. It's all comes from me, and everybody does the same thing, but it's just a different way. It doesn't mean that I'm dependent on people or somebody else, but
Mm-hmm.
first of all, I'm dependent on myself. It all comes from inside. And then you kind of like these roots are like information system too. It's like a connection to other like-minded people, like-minded essences who are here, who are kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuck in this. So I see like a labyrinth of the, like a system, and each one of us has a, like a little area, like a box in which we are. And then you kind of like melt the sides of the box and you connect through the root system together. So even if you don't talk to each other, whatever, communicate, you're still connected by the essence, by the light of your soul. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that is like that a gray layer of that kind of like machine oil that I see over Earth. It gets burned up by our root system that we create, like people like us. That's
Mm-hmm.
how it looks like. We create a new layer of new reality by our thoughts and by our intentions that way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And I have a question about, you said this life is your kind of number one. But why
Mm,
do you, being here, feel that you want to go?
that's my physical self.
Yeah,
I see my
that's why I'm
physical
asking
body.
why it
That's my
doesn't accept.
mind. It's like the mind connected to the soul. The soul's trying through the mind tell the brain that you're just getting experience, and I understand that. But there are moments I see, like if I go my timeline, I see the it's like a minefield, right? When
Mm-hmm,
I see people around me and they start bombarding me with some things, information, and I'm like on some sort of swing, like a child. And then when the swing's, balanced, I'm totally fine. I don't feel that way, like I need to go.
mm-hmm,
When there's a few people talking to me or influencing me, even thought process, I feeling like they're sending me like electrical
mm-hmm.
impulses, like thoughts. I feel it. I'm very sensitive, and I'm starting to do this, and that's when I'm starting to get this emotion and feeling together. I feel like, oh, I'd rather leave. It's a survival instinct. If you can't cope, you'd rather run. Like adrenaline level.
Mm-hmm.
Run and fight.
Mm-hmm.
And the fight is very much connected to me being a soldier. So that's why it's very natural to me to like, oh, I just want to run away. But then I balance myself out again, and then it disappears. So it's like this, like a
Mm-hmm.
wave.
It's a fluctuation, but it's not really healthy for a long time because then you're gonna fluctuate the realities you create.
Right, it's like a
Which one do you
pattern.
want to choose? Yeah, which one do you choose? Then you need to stay on that vibration and just make it. Just create it
Mm,
continuously without them allowing you, like influence you. That's why I see that the flower and your description of how you see it, I think it's a very good example or like metaphor for you to use whenever you feel like your swing is going out of balance.
mm,
Faster come back to yourself. Okay,
mm.
so what is the purpose or why now you have a feeling that too many things happening at once?
Mm. There's just like a spring, right? Like a spring and a pen, for instance. You
Mm-hmm,
take it out, you stretch it out, and now what is happening with the timelines? They're doing this.
mm-hmm,
It's too much stuff, too close to each other. I don't even know which day, what date, which month it is anymore.
mm-hmm,
Plus, the situation with coronavirus, it's all like, we're all like in a funky system right now. We reach some major, it's like a lymph node in the body. We reach that lymph node of all the events mixed up together. And it's actually created artificially. I see it. There's like waves and lines, and we're just swimming in those waves. But we're inside that lymph node. Everything's mixed up, and people are frustrated and disoriented, and they are playing on this, on us being disoriented, because they can create the layers of reality they want when we're in that mode. Well, that's
okay,
why I feel it. I'm sensitive. I'm not disoriented. I'm trying to
mm-hmm,
structure and control myself, but I see a lot of people, they're walking like blindfolded, like they don't have the masks here, they have
mm-hmm,
masks on their eyes.
mm-hmm. But can you see from what you're seeing right now that all the timelines they collapses and everything becomes so in chaos? Can you see the one true natural timeline?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in front of it right now. It looks like a tunnel with transparent sparkly blue for me. sides, and I'm like walking in it towards, from myself towards my own self. It's hard
Mm-hmm.
to understand. No. It's like I send a spark here, projected it into this body of
Mm-hmm.
myself, and then this little spark slowly but surely walking towards my own self.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a finger, you separated it, and then now you're putting it back. That's what
Yeah,
it
I
is.
understand. It's like you're already on that timeline, but now you
Mm,
experience your path
right.
to that timeline.
Like I'm rewinding all the lives
Mm-hmm.
in front of my open eyes during the day. That's what I feel like. I see slides of my parallel lives. To understand the experiences, to connect them all, because on all the timelines I've become awakened. It's like at the same time, it's like sparkles, and they're all connected.
Mm-hmm.
And in that connection, it's like a volcano. Poof, you're awakened, you understand what's going on, how it works, and then you start automatically walking on the timeline, because there's other ones don't exist. I see them like burnt up, like dark, and they fall through, and they don't, there's nothing else, there's just dark space all around, there's just only one timeline.
Mm-hmm.
um,
But why do you see your lives with your open eyes? Is there anything specific about it?
um the borders in between realities collapsed,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it, that's how it is. I mean, I can literally, it's like an open book. I can go from picture to picture, and I know which planet it just comes. Like, I don't even have to. Plus, you develop the skill, and you become more and more sensitive. It's everybody. Everybody who's sensitive, they just gonna, who's faster, who's, somebody's already been doing it for a while. I just started doing it. I mean, it just depends on
Mm-hmm.
your, how long you've been practicing this, and all this understanding level of the realities and all these other things happening to you. They're like stimulating you to start doing this. It's a natural process.
But I'm curious. When the
Mm-hmm.
picture comes to you, or you see the fragment of the life, do you
Mm-hmm.
already know it, or first you need to see the picture to know it, to remember it?
Mm-hmm. No, it's like that. It's like a flashback. I was walking yesterday along the road, and all of a sudden I feel myself in a different body, much, much taller, a guy, soldier, right? And that's all of a sudden I lose the sense of this reality. I'm with kids, but it's like I'm not with them anymore. I'm looking at them as if I was looking from above, from a third person perspective. And then all of a sudden I understand, oh, wait a minute, I'm not a soldier. So it's like flashbacks back and forth. For a second I'm thinking, oh, I'm on this planet, I have a mission or something. And then I remember and tell myself, no, 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 you're not here. You're actually here. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes like this throughout the day. Like while I'm cooking something, and I see myself in some sort of cave on Sirius B, and I am preparing something. I mean, it's totally different. It's like some grass mashing at some, but for some reason, for a second, I think I'm there and I'm making that, but in reality, I'm doing this. It, it's kind of like you're doing similar action in the
Mm-hmm.
parallel life, and that's when you blend in.
Mm-hmm. It like leaks through, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
bleeds through, because
Bleeds
it's
through.
similar experience, and just like the vibration, I guess, close to.
Right. Yeah. And I'm also in some sort of trance because it's a monotone action I'm doing, like walking or
Mm-hmm.
cooking or just staring outside. That's when it starts, like self hypnosis mode.
Mm-hmm. Is can you train yourself to consciously choose what life you want to go and see and
Mm-hmm.
experience if you want?
Yeah, it's like a next step. I see the ladder,
Mm-hmm.
steps, numbers. I'm like at number one. Then you go to two, and then when you reach, let's say, 10, even though numbers don't really exist, where my own self is, my big self type thing. I mean, I, I can't really separate. I mean, it's all me, but it's like the different. I don't know if it's consciousness level. No, but the consciousness, it's not the right word either. There's something about going through this experience, levels of experience, because I really want to go through them to understand how to control those processes inside of me. And I'm learning that way. First, it's going to be like that sporadic, chaotic. Then I'm going to figure out, second, step, how to, what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
choose which one to experience, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Just a process.
I know one thing, like the term probably when you cannot explain what it means when it's you and there are different yous and all that stuff. I like the wording, the
Mm,
degree of separation. Like now you, and
mm,
then you have other yous, which are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees of separation from you, but it's still you. So it's like, for me, it's easier to, like just for my mind to understand it. It's just
mm.
the degrees or the frequencies, but it's still the same thing. It's just you.
Right. You know what I see when you're talking about it? I see my body like an energetic body, and then all of a sudden you kind of like separate it by slicing it into
Mm-hmm.
layers, layers, layers. That's what I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, but it's the slice of the
This,
same big piece.
right, the
That's it.
same body, just kind of like, yeah.
Mm. Can we go back to the universes, the copies of them? What purpose they kind of they have for you? Why do you see them? What is the importance of you to see them?
I'm very curious. They actually, yeah, I'm all about exploring and curiosity, just two words right in front of my face. That's why I like being a scientist, exploring, finding new planets, seeding life. That's like the purpose I made up for myself in all the galaxies, all the universes, to do just that.
Isn't it boring sometimes?
Mm, no, it says my essence, my subconscious. It's hurtful sometimes because when you seed something, you hope for it to leave, to adjust to the atmosphere of the planet or the surface, and then when it dies and you come back to see if it grew and it didn't, it's hurtful to you. And then I have like subconscious wounds from it. I have like holes. I see like a Play-Doh spread out, and then I poke a hole with a needle each time something doesn't work out, like any experiment. I guess that's why I don't really do that job, but I received the education as a scientist too. It's just like
Hmm.
subconscious calling, even though I don't like lab work. That's why I never worked that way. But
But yeah, now
mm,
you're doing that's the experimental work as well, just different level.
right, right,
Hmm.
yeah.
You also wrote that you would like to go in one of the dreams to see in details. Do you want to do it now? Which dream do you want to go to?
On a green planet. The grass looks funny. It's like antennas. It looks like grass, but each grass piece is an antenna. It's like a little receptor of a cell, and it creates a like protective layer of this planet. It's a physical planet. Um, I'm just sitting in the grass. I'm a little boy. I'm moving my energies from my hands. I'm trying to create things. And then I see myself protecting this planet when I like go further in the timeline. It's being attacked by some ships. They look like very long, like jets, fighter jets. I wear some sort of suit with the headpiece, kind of funny headpiece, like glass, transparent, and energy type thing. And I get killed. And from that moment, I decide that I'll be protecting. And then from that, in my parallel lives, I by deciding that I want to be protecting, I give an agreement to be a soldier, to be used as a soldier, like my consciousness to be used for that. But then I decide to disagree and use all these abilities that they've been using for their purposes to use it for mine. And that's when I start doing this, all these things that I've been doing for the past year, almost a year, because I decided it was my intention to use it for myself, and it was the right decision.
So does it mean that right now all of your cells who are soldiers, they change their lives, the way their lives are going, or what happens to them?
I just saw myself doing this. So there's timelines. I see 18 timelines, 19 now. But they keep growing. It's like too endless numbers. And then I go to each timeline and I go to that particular moment when I agreed to participate in their program, life program as a soldier, and I don't agree, and it gets like it falls down
Hmm.
and that it doesn't exist.
But does the
Like
experience
like I
stay with
delete
you?
it. Yeah, experience stays with me, but I deleted the actual lives. But experience,
And
I extracted experience, you understand, and they're not like in circular motion anymore.
but
There's
what
I
happens to the aspect of you? Where is it? Does it coming back to you?
Yeah, it's like a magnet. It's like a tiny little piece of magnetic dust. It came to me like whew, to me
Hmm.
like that, and I
To
become more
me, you
complete type thing.
specifically right now I'm looking at, or the vast you that is,
The big
mm,
me,
yeah,
the
the
one
big
that
you. Yeah.
yeah,
So it goes into the big you and then bleeds through for you to have the experience, the knowledge of it.
right. Because right now I'm focused. Like I see myself like that. I'm standing in my energetic body. First, I was pointing the flashlight outside of me like this, and now I'm pointing straight at myself because I want all the knowledge, all my abilities to be used for my own self.
Hmm.
So that's how it is right now.
So what else, what other wisdom you can take from being a soldier?
Hmm, there's really no reason to fight. I mean, it's like I'm sitting right now in front of computer. That's why I don't like computer games. I've never played because I play too much. as that soldier. And that's why I've never watched Star Wars, because I've done this for too long. I'm tired of all this.
I think we have the similar fate about that part of being a soldier because I also, it's not interesting for me. I don't watch
Mm,
those kind of films, and because I also see myself as a soldier, and
mm.
so I think we have some similarities over here.
Yeah,
Okay,
everything
you,
happens for a reason.
yep.
I got
Do you want to
together.
go anywhere else?
No, no, thanks. No,
Mm,
I just wanna. I see myself as that flashlight inside of me, and I like that.
okay, so
Mm-hmm.
then you can come back anytime.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you seeing everything with your eyes open is just now for you to save your time. You don't need to lay down. Yes, you can when you feel lazy, or you want to
Mm-hmm.
just lay down and then you can explore. But you don't need to waste that time. You can do it
No,
anytime. The same,
right.
like I do the same with like meditation. Sometimes I do sit down or lay down and then I go do something specific. But in
Mm-hmm.
general, I'm always in that mode. I don't need to close my eyes. I can see that and
Right.
create and everything. So it's cool. It's cool. So
Yeah,
I
it's a
think
great.
now you're gonna go like from just enjoying that kind of stuff, then just gonna make a structure for yourself how to work with it. How can you
Right.
apply it so it's gonna be really practical, not just seeing, oh, I'm seeing that, I'm seeing that. Yes, the timelines they go down and the veil is thinner and thinner, but how can you use it? Can you?
Mm-hmm.
That's important. So it's good.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.